focused on you.
Right now at 4, a man who held up a SWAT team in South St. Louis is in custody at this hour. Thanks so much for being here at 4. I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. We want to thank you for joining us. We're following developments in this story for you. We actually have our Diamond Palmer, who's live on scene with the very latest on that SWAT standoff. Fill us in, Diamond.
Well, Brent and Kay, this all happened shortly after 7 a.m. this morning on Albion Place in Lafayette Square. And U.S. Marshals tell us the suspect violated the terms of his bond in a federal case, and that's why they were there to serve him a warrant. Now, we saw with our own eyes just minutes before noon that suspect surrendered to police and they got him into custody. Neighbors described him as a man in his early 60s. Now, we were there as police called in a SWAT team as they said the man's name over and over again, trying to get him out of the house safely and answer the phone. I spoke to police and a neighbor who preferred not to be on camera who knows the suspect.
One shot was fired by the subject. A 7250 was activated. We talked the subject out of the residence. There are no reported injuries in this incident.
As soon as I moved there, he just automatically took to us. And we took to him. He checks our oil for us in the summertime. He always stops and speaks.
Police tell us that no injuries were reported during the standoff, but this evening, U.S. Marshals tell us that the FBI and SLMPD will lead the ongoing investigation. Reporting live at police headquarters, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
All right, Diamond, thank you. Stay with 5 on your side for more on this developing story. Look for updates on air, online at KSDK.com and on the 5 on your side app.
New developments now from Kansas City. Hours ago, prosecutors charged 2 adults with murder in last week's shooting at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade.
Dominic Miller and Lyndall Mays each face second-degree murder, armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. The charges come after 2 juveniles were arrested on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. Police say a dispute between Miller, Mays, and others led to the shooting that killed a woman and injured 22 others.
While both adults are charged with murder, the evidence tells us that it was Mr. Miller's firearm. Mr. Miller's firearm struck Lisa Lopez Galvin.
Both Miller and Mays were hurt after that shooting. They remain in the hospital. They're being held on a $1 million bond. Authorities said more charges are possible.
Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what sparked this morning's apartment fire in St. Charles. Police first responded to the call about people yelling at the Sherman Square apartments about 6:30 this morning. When officers arrived, they found Mary and Richard Martin trapped inside a first-floor apartment where the fire originated. Firefighters eventually knocked down the door, but the victims had already died. They were in their late 70s.
When we first got here, we had heavy smoke showing out the main door of the apartment building itself. We also had heavy smoke coming out of the windows of the apartment where the fire originated, where those 2 fatalities were. So those windows were already broken and vented. And by the time we got off the truck and made entry through the front door, we had heavy fire conditions inside that apartment as well.
Several other residents were rescued. 1 firefighter was taken to the hospital with injuries. The fire caused smoke damage all throughout the building.
Now to that tragic fire that killed a mother and her 4 children in Ferguson. It all started just before 4:30 Monday morning on North Clay Avenue. Relatives say the victims are 39-year-old Bernadine Prusner and her children, 2-year-old Millie, 6-year-old Jackson, and 9-year-old twins Ellie and Ivy. Prusner was an author and professor and taught early childhood education at Lewis and Clark Community College. The bomb and arson squad and homicide detectives are now investigating.
Right now, St. Louis County Police are looking for the driver who killed a man and drove off. It happened just before 7:15 last night on McKenzie Road near Alpine Road in South County. Investigators say the driver was heading southbound when they hit William Starr, who was walking on the road. He was 74 years old. If you have any information, you're asked to call St. Louis County Police or remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers, 866-371-TIPS. A bill to ban celebratory gunfire in cities overwhelmingly passed the Missouri House.
And the largely bipartisan bill would make shooting a firearm within city limits a misdemeanor for first-time offenders. It represents a rare effort to regulate guns in a state with some of the most expansive laws on firearm ownership. Last year, Missouri lawmakers passed a similar measure as part of a sweeping crime-related bill. Well, Governor Parson vetoed it, citing issues with other provisions in that bill.
And within the hour, Governor Parson will discuss his plan to provide aid at the U.S.-Mexico border. The governor plans to deploy resources and National Guard troops to Texas in support of Governor Greg Abbott's Operation Lone Star mission. Last month, Parson and 13 other Republican governors traveled to the southern border to get a first-hand look. Parson is expected to speak about 4:45 this afternoon. You can watch his speech live on KSDK.com and on the 5 on Your Side app.
Let's go ahead and check on your Weather First forecast. We have a live image coming in now over downtown St. Louis. Plenty of sunshine over the bi-state, bringing spring-like temps for the next few days. Chief Meteorologist Scott Cano now with much more.
You know, those temperatures warming nicely today, Brent. In fact, once again overachieving, and we're back into the low and mid 60s around the metro area. A very big taste of spring ongoing across the region right now with that sunshine this afternoon and winds out of the south-southwest. 63 degrees currently in Alton. It is 65 as you make your way out to Wildwood. Most of us are looking at those mild temperatures, and we're doing that with lots of sunshine. There are just a few clouds off to the west and southwest of St. Louis. Down towards Cuba, we see a few streaking on through, but nothing that's going to cause us any rain as we go through the next 24 hours, maybe later tomorrow night. There's a look at some of those clouds trying to drift in to the southwest of us down there towards Arnold. Elsewhere and otherwise across the region, lots of sunshine with the exception of down in Cuba where the clouds are just slightly thicker. You're right under that belt of cloud cover. Hey, City SC taking the pitch tonight. Temperatures expected to be cooling off, but still for February, okay, these are bonus numbers, still in the 40s. Mid-40s at 9 o'clock.
You are so right. Definitely bonus temperatures, Scott. And let's take a live look over City Park, where, yes, in just a few hours, the stadium will be packed with fans as City SC plays for the first time in 2024. City SC plays Houston in their opening match in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Kickoff set for 7 p.m. The tournament consists of clubs from North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. And it has been a busy week for the soccer club, which begins the MLS regular season at home Saturday against Real Salt Lake. All right, something for everyone. That's how the Fox Theater is promoting its new Broadway series. The shows you can see this fall.
And no break for those wanting to buy a home in Missouri. What's weakening purchasing power right now?
And thousands of students are planning spring break trips, while many are not heading to their typical destinations.